I thought it was great. It's a great move going early. Couldn't have been better out, and we didn't have one issue whatsoever of any problems. So that part was great. I think we got about 80 team snaps in, and probably 40 some, about almost 50 Pascal snaps in, and so we got a bunch of work and no problems, and guys look good. I thought like we always do anymore. We're most everybody's year round anymore. You can almost go out and play a game, meaning that what everybody retains everything really pretty well, and so it was real positive.
Did everybody report you expected to report? Was everybody out there?
That we expected to. We got a couple guys still finishing up some classes, which you guys all know some of the incoming freshmen. We got a couple of D linemen still working on classes to finish up. We anticipate that happening here pretty soon, and a receiver still finishing up some classes. So that'll be determined probably in another few days, I guess.
Could those D linemen that are not here, could they be helping this season, do you think? Or
Absolutely. They're talented guys. They're big guys, and sure they could.
You mean veterans still working on class stuff?
Well, everybody is. We're not done with finals till tomorrow. So
Any veterans not working out?
no, I think
Because of that reason?
I think everybody was here, right, Kenny?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. But again, everybody's still in class through tomorrow.
What do you give the, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give the Haka dance? Where is it at right now?
Well, Neela, I'd give him a 10 or 11. The rest of the guys are about a 4. They don't know what they're doing. So
Looked like maybe Tony and Kenny had done it before. They seem to be really into it.
I didn't notice them, but so all I know is I heard a few of them saying it's going to take them a while to learn it. So we'll have to have Neela's going to have to give everybody a little education on it.
You think that'll be a part of every practice?
No, they usually call somebody out to, how they do it. They call someone out to give them an impromptu dance every day, so there'll be somebody different at times.
So he was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a tight end or is he a?
Neela?
Yeah.
No, he's working with the offensive line. He's working as a guard. He's already about
280.
290, so 285, 290. But he's a skinny 285, 290, so that's a good thing. So we really, low-key looked really good for one day out there.
You always mention that you don't get to see him in the summer. So when you eyeballed your linemen, were they bigger like you hoped, or
Yeah,
where you
they
want?
look good. They all look like they're in great shape. Which when you watch our guys, you don't see many guys rolling around with bellies, and they don't have them, and they look good. So, and I thought the D-line looked good.
With Jarvis sitting out right now, what specifically were your impressions of Lane and Darrell Williams?
I'm going to have to watch practice. I got to admit, when I'm at practice, I'm watching more of the defense, and that's where I most of my focus during. And I recognize good plays and compliment guys here or there, but to say I'm sitting there eyeballing the O-line, that wouldn't be fair.
So just physically, how they look?
They look great. That's what I just said. They look like they're in really good shape.
About the any position changes from last spring? Everybody playing the same thing they were at the end of spring?
Well, we're going to experiment a little bit with, which is always the right thing to do. We're looking at Tony Jefferson some in the deep positions. Looking at Corey Nelson not only as the outside weak backer, but as the nickel outside strong backer. Same thing, just to the strong side of the field. So that anyone that watched us practice a little bit today saw some of that, and that's again, we're just trying to, to us it's always about getting your absolute best 11, 15, 16 on the field, and so we're just looking at the possibilities of that, which again for Tony's future too, he needs to know the deep positions as well as the nickel position. As a true freshman a year ago, that wasn't the right thing to do. It's too much to grasp. But just one day out there, you could tell he's already grasping, playing the deep safety positions. And so we'll experiment, Damon Williams we looked at in the spring on offense, but now we have him moved back to defense. So, you know, we're always tinkering, trying to find the very best spot for guys.
Did you guys do testing today, huh?
No, we didn't. Coach Schmidt felt, you know, in his opinion, the way they handled their summer, we didn't need to do a conditioning test.
That's
So-
the first time ever, isn't it?
Probably.
Wow, that's pretty impressive for the way the guys kept themselves in shape in the offseason, I guess.
Well, we'll see. We've only had one day of it, but, you know, we'll see how that goes.
Bob, how did your kickers do on the first day?
Looked good. You know, Jimmy was solid, and Michael Honeycutt was definitely, you know, night and day compared to a year ago. Really looked good and solid, hit a bunch of good balls. So, you know, Tress hit a couple 80-yard punts. So, you know, they look good.
You don't have to name them, but how many walk-ons did you bring in to work with the kickers right now?
Oh, I think there's 3.
3 extra besides the scholarship guys.
Can you name them?
Yeah, Michael Hill, Hosek, and who's our third one? Maybe just those 2. Just those 2, I think. Yeah.
You said last week you didn't expect there to be many changes in the offense with Josh calling plays from Kevin. Do you see any subtle differences in the way Josh is approaching things yet, or did he learn kind of the pace and the I guess pacing is a good word, of play calling from Kevin? I mean, did he learn that? Is that something that he's going to carry forward?
I'm not following you.
You know, the hurry up and what's coming up next and working 2-3 plays ahead. Is that
Well,
something?
I mean, sure. I mean, they've been working together for 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it is. So whether he was part of it, he was part of putting it together, part of calling it. So it's not that he has to learn it; he's been a part of it.
He has to do it himself, though. He's never had to call them himself. So I guess that's.
Well, he did in the bowl game and seemed to work okay. So I mean, yeah, it's not a big deal. You know, it's just the natural. You know, being in that position, that's what you do.
I think there's a perception that he's going to not favor tight ends, or he's not going to favor the bigs or fullbacks. He's going to want to pass a little more. Is that incorrect? Is that inaccurate?
Oh, I don't. Sure, it is. You know that. I mean, everyone knows that some of our best players are fullbacks and tight ends, and Josh knows that. So that's just people making stuff up. That's not Josh. You know, it's just somebody trying to get something to talk about or write about,
I think it was
like
80
James on the radio or something.
Is he going to? Kevin often made a point about self-scouting. Does Josh have to do that with what Kevin did, or is it a
They all
completely
do it.
clean slate?
Well, they all do it. I mean, self-scout. But Josh, they only got one game to self-scout him.
Right.
So everybody has it, and that's not hard to figure out. But that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have to steer away from anything Kevin did. That's what I'm asking. Okay.
Bob, did you work on kickoff returns this morning at all?
Yeah,
Who did you put back there? Do you
all the fast guys.
okay.
There's about
Franks,
10 of them
Williams?
back there. Yeah, you know who they are.
I think it was 82 degrees when I pulled up this morning. Did you send
It
guys
was
banging on
beautiful.
doors and stuff early this morning?
No, everybody was there. I only saw one guy running in a little bit late, but that was Lamar Harris. So if you see him, that was. But no, everyone we were right on time. It was great. It worked out really well. So
Is that the game plan over the next few days? 6:45.
next couple of days, because of Fan Day, we actually might have to. Well, it was 7 o'clock. I was wrong telling you guys the other Thursday and Friday 7 o'clock, and Saturday because of Fan Appreciation Day, we probably have to move it up to 6:45, so that we get off the field, get them showered, and involved in that soon enough.
Bob, you obviously have a good team, but you've said several times this summer you like this team too. When you talk about when you like a team, what are you talking about, and what do you like about these guys in particular?
It's been their, you know, all through the winter, spring, you know, their willingness to listen, just their overall attitude and work habits, you know, have been very solid. Just seem to be a little more responsible group maybe than some others, and their chemistry together. You know, you could tell it's a a very tight group with one another.
Very rarely does a coach tell us when there's not good chemistry. Can you tell when there's not good chemistry?
Yeah.
And do you generally keep it, do you address that with them? We know you don't address it with us, but
Well,
you don't.
usually, yeah, I mean, sure, we address it with them and/or, we express our concern if they're not willing to listen to coaching, if they're not being very responsible in other parts of their life, For instance, Colonel Garibay's, one of our academic advisors who kind of helps our players in, with whether it be learning specialists or things of that nature, said it's one of the best summers he's ever had. He told the guys that last night, and in regard to handling their stuff, going to class, those kind of things. And so when I say being responsible, it's in a lot of areas, not just on the field. And this group has been better than others. But your question, if they aren't that way, I'm in their ear, yeah, and letting them know it.
In personal responsibility, if you address that with them, that's something that seems like easy to change. Chemistry, just a coach saying have better chemistry,
Yeah.
doesn't seem like that's going to.
No, it's got to happen from within, really. That's got to happen amongst yourself, and I can't honestly say that I've ever, been with one here that's been bad. It's just some are better than others.
You ever been anywhere where it's been bad?
Yeah, those early years at K-State where we're just figuring out how to have a chance to win. I was on one early years when I played at Iowa.
What's that like?
Before we figured out. Not very good. It's just not a lot of help with one another, not a lot of positive energy.
These are players. and
Coincidentally, it feeds into losing. So
Yeah.
Is it sometimes as simple as people you like to be around and people you don't?
Probably.
Is that as good a way to describe it as any?
sure. I mean, that can be it. I mean, that's mostly it.
I know that Jeremy Calhoun had a really serious injury last year. Seems like he's out there running around really.
He did look good. He's looks like he's in really good shape. He's worked hard, and so it was good to see him back out there.
How do you like having the all-access cameras out there with you?
Takes a little to get used to, but you forget about them really and just go about your business. And every now and then got to tell one to get out of the middle of almost getting run over. So don't want to get any of my players injured. Not worried about him so much. So.
Kenny Stills was wearing a helmet cam today. Did they ask you to put on a helmet cam yet?
Yeah, no, I hadn't. I just one of my twins was out there, said, "What's Kenny got a camera on?" I didn't even know, so I'll have to see what Kenny was looking at.
Get you a visor cam.
Yeah.
Bob, having such a responsible team, how much credit can you give to guys like Landry and Ryan Broyles as being leaders for the team when you're not around?
Well, they're great examples of what you want. They've been great leaders, great workers, and they set a really strong example for the other players on how to go about your business and do it the right way. Good.
Bob, thanks.
Okay.